Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. My name is Rabenschild. I'm still working on my dock here. I found a way to maybe fix some of the problems that I have. I got some good suggestions. Alex Hudson, for example, mentioned that maybe having sensor clusters up here would be a good thing, so that I could really see what sensor is triggered, and then basically get an exact position. And very good ideas, but for one, the space, the what I could do is basically go and say I don't use sensors on this ship, but I use sensors on this dock. So change it, because here I don't have the space for sensor clusters. I could put them below the surface, but then they would be in the hangar area, and that's also something I don't want to have. But if I go and change it out so that this thing has the sensor, then I could set up clusters. I could think about it. I told him in the comments that I don't need exact positions. That's my main thing with it. So the position doesn't need to be completely exact on the point. I just need, okay, I have now a pretty much the right position, and then I can just hopefully use the pistons with the connectors to pull me in. So you can see that, for example, now I have a relatively good position because, and we take a look at that in a second. So what he suggested, continuing on, is maybe have, for example, more than one sensor here. So use two sensors to the side. We could use two in the back and the front, the one in the middle, and then one below the one in the middle. And then have the one in the middle have two different height settings, so that we could see, okay, now the first sensor is triggered, second sensor is triggered, we have to go somewhere where only the first sensor is triggered. The idea is pretty nice, but again, the size here makes the problem for me. Good. What I have done in the meantime, yesterday I made a stupid test with overclocking, and at one point my whole PC crashed. I had to revert that. I'm still trying to get the last basically out of the system components I have at the moment. Because again, Space Engineer still is the worst offender when it comes to using up system resources, and I'm trying to again do a bit more to maybe help the problem. I maybe have to get used to it. The card I have, the GPU is not really overclocking ready, so I was pretty careful with it. But at one point it just wouldn't do what I wanted it to do anymore. So, okay. What I have here is basically another set of pistons that I want to use to bring the whole ship straight into the dock. So the only thing that we then have to care about is if it is rolled basically in the right direction, because now these pistons, or these connectors, that's what I wanted to say, will have pretty strong forces. I will slowly bring it up until something explodes and then go back. They basically are in the front of the ship. So if these two are attached, the ship should go in pretty straight, line up correctly. So What I had to do for these, so the whole setup is not a problem. These are also brought into the piston group that I use for the middle there. And they come out together with the other pistons back there. They do that faster than the ones there, so that basically these are the first pistons the ship comes in contact with. And I will even slow these down even a bit more. I could also attach connectors and all that stuff behind this and then use these as connectors. That's also an idea I play around with, to not have these connectors at all anymore. I could then get rid of them completely, but I kind of want to use them to maybe fix the rolling problem that I have. So give this one a bit more force, have this one stick out as far as these ones, because that's one thing you have to do is these have to stick out more than these, or these at the moment. Otherwise you have a problem where the ship comes in contact with these ones and then starts to rock back and forth on on these pistons. Looks funny, doesn't work out pretty well. So you can see these are completely in contact with the ship and these are pulled back a bit. So again, it doesn't rock, and they are not pretty set to pretty high levels. Good thing is that it doesn't matter how far. So all these pistons basically use the same distance. So if I want to have complete contact, I could set them up all to the same distance, and then the ship would just go against them. Doesn't rock and should go pretty straight into that. That's what I want to use to maybe get a bit of the rolling problem into check. So have this piston stick out the same distance as these ones, so the ship will get in contact with this piston and the one in the back and in the front. By the way, this is I don't know if this is exactly, is it exactly the middle? I think it's exactly the middle. So this one and these ones have exact distances between them. That works out pretty good. The only problem that I have right now is that the center of mass of the ship is off a bit. Let me see if we can take a look at that. As far as I know, the center of mass of this ship is a bit behind the middle there, because I have all the reactors in the back, and in the front I have, see, what I could try to do is go and bring the center of mass really into the middle of the ship. By the way, mass blocks will not be a solution there, because they, even in the big form, they don't put enough force on there. So the center of mass, I think, is somewhere there, and it would be nice to have it somewhere there, because now if I steer the ship, it turns around the center of mass as far as I see it, and then I don't get exact steering if I go left and right. So again, back to the pistons. So I would like, I want to have this one stick out as far as these ones. So these ones stick out 8.5 meters. And I want to do that here too, by the way. pretty thanks for being able to... okay, I have to release the ship, otherwise I put in unwanted stress on there. Okay. Now, the nice thing is the pistons on the connectors on the pistons accept a bit of rough handling, so I can just bump into it and then it is pretty straight in there, connects pretty well. So you can see that the rolling problem still is there because I need to bring the force of this piston up. And the next problem that I have is that the ship doesn't stop immediately. It still wiggles around a bit. I can't do anything about that. So now it should, with enough force on all the connectors here and there and there, it should bring it into a good position and then even address the rolling a bit. So if these are in contact and this has to pull it back in a bit, then it even should be rolled correctly. It's pretty neat. So, but I need to bring up the forces there, and I will do that here and there too. I have it on 0.005 or something like that. It's a pretty low percentage pretty low percentage. The problem that the default 100 0. Okay, let me get one of the connectors up. Oh, and I need to name them. That's another thing. So this is one of the right ones. So 0.0050, and usually the default is 0.015, I think. And this is pretty high. So there I have a lot of smashing the ship into the whole dock. And the good thing is that I should be able to get away from it, because I talked about that in another episode, that for some reason connectors on pistons let loose a lot easier than connectors that are just stuck to a fixed grid. So now we are in a position where all the lamps should be lit up and the connectors can pull us in pretty easy. So you can see that all the lamps are lit up, and this should be the right position now. I hope, at least. It's as right as it can be without going completely crazy on sensors and scripts and I don't need much more. So that's all I need. I needed to be able to connect to the dock. If it's not completely straight in, completely straight we could get with merge blocks, but again, merge blocks, I will never use them for an application like that. I don't want to rename the ship all over and over and deal with making it back into a ship, and it's not worth the hassle, I would say. But here we have a pretty easy system now. We bring it into contact with the sensors. One thing I need to take a look at, and that's my form of precision. So I fly in, let them light up, and when I see that they go out, I need to get back into it. You can see that basically the sensor now is on the side, on the innermost side of the docking arm. here. That again makes it so that I can fly in, see if the sensors go on, and then react to them going off again, and then just pull back, and then I should be in a good position. That's pretty nice. By the way, thanks for all the birthday wishes. That was really nice of you, and yeah, I had a good day that day. Let's say it that way. Pretty laid back. A bit of not partying, but a bit of celebration with my parents will go on the weekend, so my brother and his children can come too, and there's no stress with with them having to go early or something like that. Good. Let me refill my oxygen and the energy. We could go for a bit of a shorter episode today. I think that would be good because I have other things to do too. Come on, let me go. So, by the way, I did also some work on this. On the corridor here, I need to put some windows up. I hope that the windows don't kill my performance completely. And then that's one thing here that is a bit problematic. I have this gap here that I need to jump, but that's okay. I think I can live with entering the ship with a bit of a jump. The cool thing is now with this rig here, I can see the whole ship in its full length when I go alongside it. It's pretty neat. I'm happy how this turned out. I'm not sure. Maybe here on the front I will put some, don't know, another viewing platform or something like that, or a dock for smaller ships. I could do something like that too. Now that the whole docking system here is basically done, I can go and work. Yeah, this is not right. Now I can work on the other things here on the dock again too. And yeah, we have to do more of the ring station and more exploring. And I constantly have the urge to attack the red ships. Now the civilian ships too. Bring in more loot. That would be neat. That's also a thing we need to do. Good people, but I think that's all for today. A short one just as an explanation how this system now works. If you have more ideas to that, I'm not saying that that building on this is completely over. If someone comes up with an idea that's absolutely perfect, and I will definitely make changes to it. So I still have to work on it, but I will do that off camera, basically, with all the forces here and all that stuff. Good people. Yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you liked it. If you did, please leave a like on the video. Leave a comment. Take a look at the description to all my links, Twitter, Patreon, and the collection I have put up on Steam, so you can see what mods I'm using in here. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next one. See ya, guys.